Both of you just are exceptional in this film. Fen, was there something about this particular premise, or maybe TJ himself, that drew you to be a part of it?
Um, I think what I responded to most with TJ uh was just action. His just in a way he made a decision and he stuck with it um and saw it through to the end despite pushback or whatever trials and tribulations and I think that inspired me the most about his arc.
So what kind of information were you guys given about Jake and TJ's history as friends?
We were told that they grew up together, that they've known each other their whole lives. So we obviously knew there had to be some like pretty strong chemistry, you know what I mean, that we would have to sell. Because that's not the easiest thing, especially when you're like two strangers with very different lives and you're different ages and you're just like thrown in the front of a camera and you're like, have chemistry.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's mostly all we knew. I think the rest of their little like niche things. Some were written in, but I think the rest was just actually me and Finn like going across the country and
Yeah.
yeah.
Then a lot of people would just let their dad's car rot.
Yeah.
What is it about their relationship that he's inspired? All right, I'll do this favor.
I think I think that I think there's a lot there. I think the impetus for the journey really is wanting some it could be closure, it could be confrontation, it could be um I don't know. I think there was just too many unanswered questions for TJ to say no. And I think at the end of the day I mean, how I felt is I realized this is an opportunity to go on this journey, and regardless of how it turns out, I think TJ had an intuition that it's something he needed to do to move on with his life, in whichever way he was going to. That's with his father present in it or excommunicado. Like he just needed some clarity there.
I have to ask you guys about driving in that car. Was it really as janky as it looks?
Honestly, yeah, like
Yeah, pretty janky.
I feel like it like obviously it was a beautiful car, but it had its little like quirks, you know, like there were holes in the roof of the car that so whenever it would rain, we'd have to put towels on the seats or like over the little gears by the door. Um, Yeah, there were like little things like that where we were like we had to tape the seats up before we started filming because they were pretty torn.
Yeah.
Starting it up is was like a beast. And so there's a shot in the movie of us trying to like get it going.
It
Well, we
was
do
it was
see that you duct tape the seats. There are scenes of you, really fixing it up, fixing it up.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the car made it all the way across the country without any breakdowns, I think, and that's Evan, who's we're friends with now, who is Billy Amaral, who was Paul Guilfoyle's scene partner in the mechanic shop, one of the mechanics. He's the actual guy who maintained the car and worked on it before filming, and his son came with us, Evan, on the trip, and he kept the car running and if it weren't for him, we probably wouldn't have made it past like the second state. So
No, we wouldn't have made it past
yeah, yeah,
it. We needed him.
yeah.
Chris, are you, is Jake on this trip because he's trying to protect TJ from himself? I mean, he does obviously say, I'm here to watch you crash and burn, but is the real
Yeah.
there because he wants to protect his pal?
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier and I was like, Jake's got this great facade of like, I'm just here to watch you mess up, man. Like, I just need a fun summer activity, you know? Like, I'm just here. But I think you're right about underneath all of that, I think he just cares about his friend. And I think he knows how sensitive of a time this is for TJ. And I think he knows he's gonna need all the support that he can get. And so he's like, dude, I got you. I'm driving.
Then what is it about Maeve that TJ just invests himself in this friendship? Seems like they're the best, certainly travel companions for the time being. But is there something he feels like connects him to her?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a kinship there of just finding another uh person in a tumultuous period in their lives in kind of the middle of nowhere. And I think there was a yeah, there was a camaraderie there in that.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask both of you where your favorite locations were to shoot, where you're driving through, whether you're in the mechanic shop. Chris, where did you love getting to travel to?
Hey, this is kind of a cop out, but the Cape. I really loved like all the time that we spent on the Cape. I had never spent any time on Cape Cod before filming this movie. And so I had so much fun like running off and exploring things and like seeing the place for myself and making friends on the island. And then like, yeah, no, that was fun. It's not an island.
I think there's a lot. I mean, there was a lot of like beautiful places that we went to. If Honestly, I think the Catskills in upstate New York and in the rain and the trees, that's my vibe. So, and it was the start of the journey and it was all excitement and it was just yeah, that was my favorite part probably.
That's a good answer.
What do you hope lingers with people that watch this beautiful film? Is it open your heart more? Is it second chances are possible? What would you say?
Yeah, I think, sometimes second chances aren't possible, but I think it's hopefully gives people space to consider that question in regards to the relationships in their lives and how far they're willing to go or not go for those relationships.